till 7, I think people in 2 minutes.
I think they wanted it done before.
6:30, yeah, the meeting starts at 7.
I figured it'd be around 7.
Raise your right hand. I, George Fisher,
I, George Fisher,
having been elected to the office of mayor of the city of Cascade Locks, Oregon,
having been elected to the office of mayor of the city of Cascade Locks, Oregon,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
to uphold the constitutions of the United States
to uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Oregon,
and the state of Oregon,
to uphold the city of Cascade Locks,
to uphold the city of Cascade Locks,
charter,
charter,
ordinances,
ordinances,
and resolutions,
and resolutions,
and faithfully execute the duties
and faithfully execute the duty
entrusted to me during my term of office that began January 1st, 2011.
during my term of office, which began January 1st, 2011.
Now, let's see, Tom Kremlin, Eva Zerfing, and Don Heath.
Break the first one down a little bit.
Raise your right hand. I, Eva Zerfing, Tom Kremlin, and Don Haight. I, Eva Zerfing.
Don Haight.
Having been elected to the position of city council member of the city of Cascade Locks,
Having been elected to the city council member of the city of Cascade Locks,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
to uphold the Constitution of the United States
to uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Oregon,
and the state of Oregon,
to uphold the city of Cascade Locks,
to uphold the city of Cascade Locks,
charter,
charter,
ordinances,
ordinances,
and resolutions,
resolutions,
and faithfully execute
and faithfully execute
the duties entrusted to me
the duties entrusted to me
during my term of office that began January 1st, 2011.
during my term of office that began January 1st, 2011. Sound about one? At this time, I would like to call a meeting to order. And could we all rise and pledge allegiance to the American flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Counselor Murphy? Here. Counselor Benjamin?
Here.
Counselor Cramblett?
Here.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Pruitt?
Here.
Counselor Hay?
Here.
And Mayor Fisher?
Here. Next on the agenda is amendments to the agenda. And I want to state that we will have executive session tonight after the regular meeting. And the executive session will be based on discipline and dismissal of individuals, public officers, ordinance number 192.660 2B, litigation, ordinance 192.662, 660 2H. Public hearing, there is none tonight. Presentations, there is none. Comments from the general public on any item of interest not going to be discussed on the agenda. Committee reports and government officials after. So it's open, yes?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. My name's Kate Stewart, and I'm involved with the food bank that was St. Patrick's and is going to be a satellite now of fish food bank. And I just want to remind everyone that Tuesday, January 18th is the distribution date. It has been changed from Wednesday to Tuesday, and I wanted to make sure everyone knew that. The other thing is, we need paper bags. We need plain, ordinary paper bags. And if anyone has any extra around there and could leave them for us at the food bank, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Welcome, council. I have a problem with what happened at the last meeting.
Pardon me, could you tell everyone your name?
So I'm Cody Steelman, and I've gone through the video of it, and what I see is a council that was uninformed of some negotiations that were going on. It's apparent that there was negotiations going on. And I'd like to ask Tom, Kevin, Tiffany, and Lance, when did you learn of separation agreement between our city administrator and the city?
That's up to the mayor.
Do you want us to answer?
Pardon me?
It's up to you if you'd like us to have a conversation or if you'd like to have him make a statement.
At this time, I would like them not to make a statement.
Okay.
Because, and let me explain why. We're going to have a discussion later on, and
This is executive session.
we all need to get up to speed on it before we start answering questions.
So is this matter going to come up that I have an opportunity to speak again on it in a public forum?
I would believe so, at the next, at our next meeting.
And this is in terms of the separation agreement. Because I have some major problems with this thing. I'm seeing negotiations that happened the council was not aware of. I'm seeing public notice not being published. I'm seeing violations of minutes laws. I want to see the minutes to these negotiations. You know?
And I just would respectfully ask for you to wait so that
Okay.
us, the new council, can
Let me get this.
get involved into this.
Okay, let me.
You know what I'm saying, Cody?
Yes, I do. Yes, I understand totally. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my written speech here on this, and I'd like it just to be made a part of the record here.
Gladly. Gladly.
It's got the laws and everything. And it doesn't, and then it doesn't tear up the conflictions I have with, you know, who authorized the attorney to get involved here? Was it the sole counsel decision? You know, it wasn't. So, you know, this ain't stinks. It stinks bad, and it's not the way cities do business. Especially when I read the paper that it was a resignation. It violated the law, and the city's at risk here, you know? And I'm not trying to be rude, but I cannot sit in this, I'm busted up like you, and I can't sit or stand, this kills me, so I'm not being rude and leaving, so.
No, that's fine.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Would anybody else like to address the public, or from the public?
I certainly, my name is Sandra Kelly, and I'm a citizen of Cascade Locks. And first of all, I want to thank personally Kevin, Tom, and Tiffany for having endured the past 2 years. I know it was excruciating for you at times, and I can't appreciate your representation enough. And Tom, for putting your name in the hat again, and for Eva for being willing to join what was obvious would probably be a very difficult term. And Don, hey, thank you so much, and I feel really good about the majority of our representation, and I wanted you folks, and George, I forget the mayor of all people, and I'm so happy to have you as our mayor, and thank you very much for being willing to serve this community. I can't appreciate it enough. I would like to totally respect, full well knowing that this council has not had an opportunity to discuss the issues at hand together. If you had, it would of course violate public meeting laws. And so I understand why you need the opportunity to meet and discuss this amongst yourself before you can give answers, etc. But I do feel that it wouldn't hurt to say some things, and that's what I would like to do now. One of the things that probably bothered me more than anything about this separation contract is that it's pretty obvious from, on the meeting before, Bernard had originally, our city administrator had originally set this meeting to happen on the 20th, which would have been the same date as the Planning Commission hearing. He had scheduled both of those hearings to be at this, and that would have made the last meeting the 20th. He was intent on doing this way back on the 1st, and it seems pretty obvious to me this was to choreograph waiting until the very last minute of the last meeting to present you with this. And I'd just like to read one statement in the separation agreement. Seeger acknowledges that he has read this agreement and has been advised in writing by the city to consult an attorney before signing this agreement. That bothers me more than anything, because the city did not advise him in writing in any legal capacity. You didn't even know about it until the night of the 27th after the business meeting was over. So if the lawyer went ahead and negotiated with Bernard Seeger for this agreement without authorization by the city, that's obviously a breach of fiduciary duty. And keeping it a deliberate secret as he sat through 2 business meetings, and then to present it at the last minute, that's intolerable. And I don't blame Cody for being so frustrated. And the other issue is that may not have happened. The lawyer may have been told to go ahead with this. But there's not
Nobody has the authority to tell them to draft an agreement until the council's been told. Your lawyer had an obligation to tell you immediately, and it was your decision whether the lawyer drafted an agreement or not. And it ended the same way it started, with dirty tricks and manipulation. I'm really glad that we all witnessed the taking of an oath. And that oath swore to uphold the city charter. When we have individuals that are no longer serving us, and one who still is, Lance Masters, that have done nothing but try to undermine this from the beginning. So, you know, since the rats are jumping the boat when it's sinking, I guess, either that or the lights were turned on as a metaphor for the election, it would be nice if Lance Masters would turn in his resignation and join him. Thank you.
One comment to you, Sandra, please. In the future, please do not single out any council member. We are a council. We will be a council. So if you want to direct your comment to the council. No personal attacks.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay, please,
Would you let me respond to what you just said, please? I would appreciate it.
You can respond, but you understand why I said what I said.
I do understand
Okay.
what you said when you said. But on the other hand, these people, all of you, you serve the citizens. And if somebody has betrayed you, I think it should be brought out in the public. And if the council doesn't do that, the only opportunity to do that is at the pulpit or at the podium. And you know, I'm not disrespecting you, George, and I'm not disrespecting this council, but I earnestly believe that this was a betrayal. And the folks that were involved at this should be pointed out. And there have been lots of times when people have asked for resignations from this podium, and nobody's ever stopped them before.
The thing that I just want to make clear is we will always be a council. And the council, every person on the council has the right to have a different point of view, okay? But when the council votes, whatever the vote comes out to be, that's what it is.
Okay, I understand that.
You understand what I'm trying to
I
say?
do.
I don't want to ever, in my term, hear personal attacks towards anybody, any individual, okay? You are willing to attack the whole council, and then the council will deal with it as a whole. All
I
right?
understand that.
Please try to keep that in mind.
When individuals are involved in
You have
violations
many other avenues that you can address, but when you're in the meeting here and you're with us, address us as a council.
Okay,
Because we are a group, and the whole group is involved,
right.
okay?
The whole group is not responsible for the actions of one individual.
Yes, the council is. The council is responsible for the council, okay? So keep that in mind, okay?
Okay.
Because I will be very firm on this. I
Okay,
do not want to see, it's a bad situation to get into, and it's one of the things I'm not going to allow.
okay,
You're willing to speak and say whatever you want to, but please address the council when you're here, all right?
okay. I
Thank you.
understand that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Would anybody else care to speak on public comment? With that being, public comment will be closed. Discussion and declaration of potential conflicts of interest. Seeing none? Consent of agenda?
Okay, Mayor, normally we have minutes and a bills list, but we didn't have time to get that put together this time, so we found their appointments to various committees.
Appointments to various committees.
And we do in particular, planning commission, which meets before your next council meeting. And the first list, the first page, on there are the committees with vacancies, and the names on the right is people that have submitted interest to be on those committees.
Okay, so there's 3 vacancies on the Budget Committee, and there's one letter from Larry Cramlett. Question, because I'm new, do I have the opportunity to talk to these people prior to making a commitment?
Yes, we might have a problem on planning commission if, they have to have a quorum to meet and they have a public hearing at their next meeting.
Okay,
I can tell you that Deanna Boosdicker, she has been on planning commission, and
She has.
she would like to re-up. And then Mr. Cramlett has submitted a letter of interest sometime ago, I think a copy's in your packet.
okay, well,
Up to you, you wanna
But-
talk to them, but we may have a problem with planning commission.
When did they meet next?
They meet on the
Second
13th.
Thursday,
Next meeting's on the 13th.
and council won't meet till the 24th.
okay, well then, in that case, at this time, I will go ahead and approve Deanna Bussendiker And-
Boosdicker, I think.
Dicker
Your stickers is
Okay.
right.
and Larry Cramlett to the Planning Commission.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor? No?
Point
Yeah,
of
point
order.
of order
Yeah.
is, I believe you nominate them and then the council
Makes them.
Discuss.
approves the nomination, but the mayor can't make a motion. It has to be, the motions have to be made by the council.
Apologize.
I would move to approve the nominations
Of Deanna
of Deanna
Boosdicker
and Larry Cramlett
For the planning commission.
for the planning commission.
Seconded.
Now do I call for a vote
Discussion.
or discussion?
Well, it's the consent agenda item, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
So,
Yeah.
is there any discussion?
That's just an
on-
odd place for it.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, is there
Yeah,
any
unless it was
discussion?
already-
Is there any discussion on these 2 nominations? Seeing none, can we take a vote? Do you do a roll call or do I call?
Just-
You
All
just
those
say
in favor,
all in
say
favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
On your committee's list, I'd like to see Carol Taylor's name added to the city services committee for,
She actually is on there. If you look at the committee
oh,
list.
is she already on there?
Just that committee's never been formed because we've never had a full committee. Mr. Steelman and Ms. Taylor sent in letters a while back. Their names have been on there, but the committee's never been formed.
Oh, I see,
Hasn't
okay,
been a full committee.
okay.
Yes, Lance.
Were they, just a question, so have they been formally appointed to those positions? Does that still need to happen, or did that happen already?
Yeah.
I believe that they were a while back. There's just never been a full committee, so the committee has never actually been started. We're just keeping their names on the list and figured when we get a full committee, then we'll make phone calls and
Were they
I can
notified?
go back and check, but, well, not yet because we don't have a full committee.
Okay, well, and that would be the reason probably why we keep getting letters, is just, we should maybe just let them know that they've been appointed, but then, okay.
And I'll go back and check minutes to make sure that.
If we can't fill the committee, should we consider changing the number of people needed to populate it?
Only 5.
Well, with that being it on committees, because I'd like to contact these other people personally and go from there. I would like to bring it to everybody's attention that if they are interested in serving on any committee, that they can now contact me, and I will try to get back with them punctually and discuss the vacancies for those committees. So, with that being done, we'll move on to unfinished business. Item A, approval of wage range for Public Works Superintendent position. At this time, I believe that we'll open this to comment. Any council member wish to comment?
I'd like to see this tabled until the next meeting. I don't believe we have any new information on it.
I second that.
No.
Or can I?
You can just
Can't second
table
either?
it. You can just say, okay, I table it.
Oh, I can say that? Okay.
You can ask for the council's
Okay.
consensus as well. It's, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll table it till the next meeting.
Could I just ask one question in this regard? That has, the last, I remember this, being in the audience, have we stopped looking for people, or what is the status of it? Is it just kind of waiting until the salary is decided?
Bernard?
That is correct. We wanted to get council's direction on whether we can change that to a range 23 versus a range 20. Until we had that decision, we were going to wait. That's correct.
But we have hired a contractor to deal with some issues,
Yes, you did at the last meeting.
specifically dealing with water
Right.
transfer.
Okay, with that being done, then we'll go on to the next new business. Election of council president. Does anyone want to nominate? Yes, Don?
Nominate Kevin Benson.
Kevin Benson's been nominated. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor of Kevin Benson being the council president?
Can we have discussion?
Oh, we have a discussion? Yes.
As I'm not the most senior person on council, and I think the history is that the most senior person would be elected to be president of council, and I would like to point out that Tom is the most senior person.
Actually, he's not.
He's not?
I've been 6 years.
That's true.
Do that.
Well, I'm good with that too.
Is there a nomination?
Decline your nomination?
Well, there's a motion on the table, so, if whoever made the motion would like to withdraw it, or the second would like to withdraw it, I would make another motion.
Do you want to withdraw your motion?
If that's the general rule, I agree to withdraw my motion.
Okay. And I
Motion's
would
been
nominate,
withdrawn.
I would nominate Tiffany Pruitt as council president.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that Tiffany Pruitt be elected for council president. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I'm not opposed, but I'm abstaining, obviously.
It passes
Or maybe I am
unanimously.
opposed and I'm still abstaining. Thank you.
Item B, adopt resolution number 1204, authorizing specific staff members and city councilors to sign checks for the city of Cascade Locks, repealing resolution number 1161. Kathy, you want to explain this to everyone?
Okay, anytime there's a change, we need to redo this resolution, and we normally, choose counselors and our mayor that we can readily get a hold of during the day. And we try to get as many as we can in case there's people out of town. Normally, a city administrator name will be on here, so that will change when and if any staff or council changes. So this is what we have set up for right now. And, can you read the names that are on there, or if you guys
Sure.
read it, do you have any questions, or? Okay, we have George Fisher as mayor, Kathy Woosley, city recorder, Mary Ann Buck, finance officer, Tiffany Pruitt, counselor, Kevin Benson, counselor, Don Hink, counselor, and Eva Durkin, counselor.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion? Or any more discussion?
Can I just add one more thing? We haven't had, Counselor Cramlett's name on there because for a while he was out of town. I don't know if that's changed.
No problem. You got plenty of counselors out there.
I should have called you before, but
Hey, I'm good, I'm good. I don't sign very well, I cramp up fast anyway.
I make a motion to approve resolution 1204.
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded to approve, adopt resolution 1204. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Mayor's comment and councilors' comments. I have a comment, and I will pass these out to the councilors. This was one of the items that I passed out that I wanted to change or to have a vision for Cascade Locks. This is just something that I wrote as a baseline. We can change it later. I'm going to go ahead and read it to the public. First is vision. I believe that the vision for the community of Cascade Locks, Oregon should show that we, the council, is here to serve the community with courtesy, respect, and professionalism at all times. Cascade Locks will be a safe, vibrant, full-service community. Cascade Locks will be a community of unity, pride, and charm. Cascade Locks will thrive as a regional focus for advancement and enjoyment of the arts, culture, leisure, and recreational activities. Cascade Locks will be a great place to live, work, visit, and be known worldwide. Last, we should always keep the community's financial interest and continue to improve public service as our #1 goal. The mission statement: the City of Cascade Locks is dedicated to providing excellent municipal service that will enhance the quality of life for our diverse community. We will strive to protect and enhance the city's livability and economic well-being for current and future generations. And I guess, then there's some things that we will discuss when it comes to rules of council. Diversity, courtesy, and mutual respect. Anyone representing the city, including all employees, appointed officials, elected officials, shall treat each other and the public with dignity, impartiality, respect, and professionalism at all times during public meetings and even when no one is looking. The next one will be integrity. Choose to do what is right, just, and moral at all times. The next item is accountability. Be responsible for your acts and omissions. The last item would be personal conduct. Individuals serving or representing the city of Cascade Locks shall not conduct themselves on duty or off duty, or in a manner that brings discredit to them or to the city of Cascade Locks. So this is just a baseline of things that I would like to be gone through or be added to either our vision and mission statement and be added to conduct of council. So you can look at that and we can discuss it at another meeting. Do any of the councilors have any comments? Seeing none, we'll go to staff notes. No staff notes. So then number 12 is televised workshop session, a review of council rules. Okay, so do any of the councilors have any comments? I guess the first question is, have you read through more rules of council?
Pretty good.
Yes, I have.
Anything that you'd like to think that needs to be changed or omitted? None at this time? Then we'll go on to the next item, which is the pending workshop items, emergency service, volunteer recruitment, retention, review, budget update.
Those are actually things we need to work on in the future.
Those are all things that we need to work on?
Yes.
Pending.
Those are
Those are all pending. Oh,
Yeah,
I
but
see.
there's no
Yeah.
information on them.
So with that, I would say that we are going to call that the end of our regular meeting, and we are going to go to executive session.
Will we be coming back to open session after the executive session?
Briefly, I guess. We could come back briefly. So, at this time, I'd like to thank everyone for showing up, and we're going to go to executive session.
Mayor, would you like Betty to stay?
Please. Thank you for coming, everyone.
Happy New Year.
We'll have a regular meeting tomorrow, this at 7:30 PM, and this meeting will continue at that time. So, at that point, that's all I have to say.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Nick, do we actually adjourn when it's continuing?
Oh, no, a motion
I
to
don't think
continue.
so.
That's right. Withdraw. Okay.
So,
Make a motion to continue.
To continue.
yes.
Motion to continue to 7:30 on Tuesday, December 4th,
Second.
It's January.
January 2020.
No, we did not adjourn. We're doing a continuance.
We're continuing till tomorrow.
May I ask a question then? Is this going to be an open meeting, or will it continue in executive session tomorrow at 7:30?
It will be both. It'll be an open meeting and an executive session meeting
Will it
tomorrow.
be televised at 7:30?
What's not executive session?
I don't believe so. I mean, that's up to the council. I think it would depend on the availability of the camera
I just-
operator and the
I
amount of time we're
I
going to be.
don't know, what's the council's favorite?
We should ask Betty if she can be available, which she's looking right now.
She's looking at her
She's available.
diary.
Okay,
There's a possibility that the meeting would be a majority of executive session, which wouldn't be televised, but there is a possibility that it would be an open session. It hasn't been decided at this point.
Open at 7:30 in a public forum.
We'll continue this meeting, yeah, at that time.
right.
Thank you.
That's all we have. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you tomorrow.